Hello, greetings and salutations, listeners. So I was let's see, what was I recently? I was shopping the other day, and I got to thinking. So like, uh, so what did people do before shopping existed? Like, well, I mean, I'm sure the concept of shopping has probably existed for a long time. But, you know, as far as like, I wonder, like, that's one thing I'd be interested to see, like a flow chart. Well, no, I guess flow chart's the wrong thing. Like a time graph. It's got to be a better word for that. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like, just the evolution of shopping. Like, just the various stages, the progressions, the steps achieved in the world of shopping, the various milestones hit, the mile markers reached. So like I would imagine. Let me think. So like try to reenact here the first shopping thing. Um, First shopping experience. I mean, say it would be like, I don't know, what could they? It would probably be. What would it be? Would it be food? I would cause the thing is, you'd be shopping from nature, right? Like from the earth. So it would be like the plants. It would be like, I would imagine, cause when you if you're you have like one, like, breadwinner of the family going out doing the hunting with the spears and whatnot, trying to get the meat, for the dinner, to cook at the fire. And then you have the other one, the co-breadwinner, go and fetch the healthy things, the crops, the plant-based foods from, well, the plants, fresh from the source, a farmer's market style. You know what I mean? So, you know, um, you'd have there, then, in that case, from what I've gathered, well, look at that. It's a hunter-gatherer. I didn't even think of that. Well, that explains it right there. It's a hunter-gatherer ecosystem that I'm describing here. You have your hunter that goes and gets, the meat, really, and then you have the gatherer that gathers the plant-based foods together, and brings them, and then at the end of the day, they both meet back at the cave, and they prepare some food alongside each other, like, and do the cooking as the sun sets, and eat dinner, the whole crew, you know, and then yeah, they go to sleep, and sleep the night away, and do it all over again the next day, I guess. Well, they'd probably have a little breakfast there, so maybe they bring like enough for dinner, and then a little bit more, they could have for breakfast. But as far as meals are concerned, what if they need a late night snack though? How would that work? I guess it wouldn't work, right? Because if there's not enough. I mean, I guess if you needed a late night snack, then yes, we'd get breakfast, I guess. Somehow this always ends up going back to food. I'm sorry, but these are the things that need to be discussed, I think. I mean, obviously discussing them isn't going to change anything, because those times are well behind us now. But but still, fascinating to think of, at least for me. Um, but yeah, so yeah, if you had like a late night snack, that would be, like it, it's either that or breakfast. But that's assuming they're the same size, because have a late night snack, maybe you could still have a late breakfast. I don't know. But I mean, one thing being like sometimes. See, it seems like opposite for me because uh, sometimes I'll go to bed hungry, and then I'll wake up and I'm not hungry for hours after I get up. Or other times I'll gorge, I'll feast and then fall asleep, and then I'll wake up, really hungry and like need to eat immediately. So it's really strange. I would think it would be, the other way around, where it's like, if you stuff yourself before you go to sleep, then, you won't need to eat for a while after getting up, as opposed to, if you go to bed hungry, you're gonna wake up hungry. I don't know. I assumed that was how it worked, I guess. But naive of me. So, my apologies for that, folks. But my yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say there. Let me say something else instead. Then, instead of that, you will have this. Instead of this, we'll have that. This and that will be switched. So you have that and this. Well, didn't I already say that? I don't know. I'll say it again. That and this and that, or this and that and this. Now I bet you're confused now, huh? Well, it's just a little bit of this, that, and the other. The other thing. The other thing that is here, right? The other thing that I wanted to say, that I wanted to tell you. There we go. The other thing that I wanted to tell you is, see, find something to rehearse here. Find something to insert into the sentence here. I like the word insert. I think that's an underutilized word. I think insert has a lot of comedic potential if used right. Like it can just make a sentence so much funnier, I think. Like if you just mean like in a sentence where you wouldn't usually use it, because I don't know, like when you usually just say like a word like in. Well, I guess it's just going extra mile. Then in might just be short for insert or inserted, or something from the insert family. I think they may be related there. In might be the little cousin of insert, the descendants, even perhaps a grandchild. But at any rate, that's another. At any rate, like a discount. At in any case, well, that's another thing there. What I just said is itself, in fact, a rate. Because at any rate, there's different rates. Now I forgot what I just said. What was I talking about before that though? Oh yes, the word insert. I think it has a lot of comedic potential in sentences where it's kind of unnecessary. I'm trying to think of an example. Let me try to make up an example here. Inserting the liquid into the cup or something like that. Like, just you can replace another verb. Like instead of pouring the liquid into the cup, it would be inserting the liquid, even though it's it's not quite like, structurally correct. Well, it's not structurally, but like, it's not the most accurate word. It's not the most like descriptive word choice. Or I don't. Is it? I don't know. Are these kind of things like designed, uh, like factory by reptilians? Okay, I'm being told we need to move on. That I need to move on to a different topic now. Um, let's say, well, you know what? In fact, I don't. I can keep talking about inserting things. So, you know, inserting the pen onto the paper, maybe. I don't know. I'm done with that now. With that, practically beating a dead horse at this point. Um, and like, what does that imply? By the way, that expression, like beating a dead horse. Like, did the horse already like get beaten to death or something? Like that. That has like, there's so many questions there. At least that I have. Like, who beats a horse to death? Has that ever happened? Like, would it be intentional? Like, is there someone out there that just like actually like, like, said, like leaves their family or whoever they live with or whatever, and is like, all right, I'm going out to, beat a horse to death. I'll have dinner ready for me when I get back. Like, is that like a normal thing? Is there a profession? Like, is there a website I can go to, like a legal website that I can go to on the light web that's just like, you know, horse beater? I'll beat any horse to death. Like, I don't know. I didn't think so. Maybe it's like some obsolete thing. Maybe it used to be like a sport or something. That'd be pretty sad. I mean, that'd be unfortunate for the horse. Like, and a presumably innocent horse would have to be, sacrificed just for a sporting event. Maybe it was competitive. Maybe, and I know I'm making jokes about animal cruelty. Maybe it'd be a bit insensitive to some folks, but I'm sorry. Like, I'm curious here. My curiosity knows no limits. Like, was this a competition? Was it like, who can, beat their horse to death quicker or something like that? Like, obviously this is awful, but, I've just like, how did that expression come to be? Beating a dead horse. Like, that's such a specific thing. It would, like, I would just think that would imply that the horse, like, the cause of death for this horse was been, like, from beating it. That it's already been beaten to death. But maybe not, I don't know. Maybe it died of natural causes or something. One can only hope. Uh, but yes, my condolences and sympathies go out to the families of any horses that may have been beaten to death or, have died in any unnatural way. Um, but yeah, so that's that. It's just another little detour, that I've been taking at least. Well, no, we, I guess, because it's you by extension. Then, because if I'm taking a detour, then I guess, you're along for the ride too. If you're listening to this, it's like, like I am talking here, like I'm saying words, and words are being said by me, and etc. You already know how it is. Um, but so like, if I'm talking, and well, not right now. Well, yeah, I still am now, but you know what I mean. Like, uh, at a given point during, like this episode, for example, I'm talking, and then simultaneously, you are listening to this episode to the very same words at pretty much the same time. There's probably a slight delay, but, for the most part, it's the same time. And, it's really something. I mean, you just kind of like, I guess, going along with it. I mean, you may not necessarily be a fan of the entirety of the content here, but, still nevertheless, you're listening to this now, maybe you just, fast forward through, skipping through whatever. I guess I can't stop you from doing that, but, for the rest of us here at HQ, oh, that's another thing, HQ, when you think HQ, what do you think it stands for? Because I think that's a great way to catch people off guard and also get their age, like, their mental age, because, I think the youngsters nowadays think it means high quality, and, the older generation interpret it to mean as headquarters, and neither one's objectively right or wrong, because it could mean either, depending on the context, but I think, that's a way to gauge it. I could go either way, because I'm in the medium generation. I'm the meat of the sandwich, So sometimes I'll say one, sometimes the others. That one there, that drive-by thing, HQ would be like headquarters, back at HQ. Like I said, it depends on the context of the sentence, because it could go either way. It could be, HQ remake or something, high quality. I mean, like, something high quality, then the sentence is high quality. I mean, technically, the sentence very well may be high quality, like, just by coming in contact with HQ. Like, maybe the HQ, like, the presence of HQ even existing, like, may have somehow molecularly altered the structure of the sentence in question, to, like, in ways that mortal beings can't even fathom. Like, you'd have to be a jellyfish, or, a lizard, or a pair of 4D pants, like, to truly understand, to truly grasp, the, what's going on there. And no, that was an actual question. I want to know what's going on there. I don't know. And also where, because I don't know that either. I wasn't told where. I was just told the address and, the city and the zip code. Alright, so I was told where, but still, that doesn't answer my question, though. I need my question answered. I need that sauce. I need the questions. The question about the sandwich. Something about I don't know. What are we doing? Oh, hey, look at this. It's a call from Figurative Frank, of course. I mean, I didn't answer it yet, so technically, there's no caller ID here, so technically I don't know who it's from, but, I assume it's Figurative Frank, because that's the only, person who's called us so far in the entire history of the show. Probably because I never, gave any of the listeners the number to call or anything like that, but, you never know. Anyway, Figurative Frank, what's up? Oh, what's up, huh? It's pretty casual intro. Well, yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, so, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? How that's That's what we're doing now. Oh, I see. See how it is? Alright, well, look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what's up. Real big news, okay? I got big news from the big wigs over at HQ. Huh, that's something because we were just talking about that. I know, alright? I know exactly what you've been talking about. Because you know what? I've been talking about it too. And you want to know why? It's because. Oh, well, I never said I want to know why. Alright, well, you're going to hear why. It's because I am actually a clone of you two. And remember when you both gave your DNA to that shady company? Yeah, I still think we shouldn't have done that. Yeah, well, I somehow got a hold of that, and um, then proceeded to make a clone. Never mind how I got the equipment or anything like that. That's not important. The important thing is that there's now two of you, and one of them is thinking about shoes right now. And as we all know, this is a problem for obvious reasons. We can't have a clone of you going around there, preaching the gospel, so to speak, of shoes. I will not stand for it. I think, there's nothing holy about that. There's nothing redeeming about that. Shoes are, well, I don't mean to take sides here. I don't want to get political or anything, but, do we really need shoes? I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, shoes are, I don't want to go on a whole rant, a whole tirade about that. I just, I'm trying to run a ship here, right? And you got like run a ship. Is that like run a marathon, like a ship, like slang for like a marathon or something? Like, oh, you're about ready to run a ship right there. The best shape in my life. I think I'm gonna run a ship. That's a good question. Like these like captains of the ships and stuff. Pilot, whatever they're called. Like, how, like, what kind of health do they have? Like, what food do they eat when they're not on the road, above the road, under the road? Who knows when your big rig's on the sea? Anything like that? Like, who knows? Honestly, um, I don't know. I don't know how healthy I would be if I was also Mayor McCheese. That's another character we can bring into the mix here. Mayor McCheese oozes slime and like drips grease everywhere. Basically has a trail of grease, which makes it very easy for him to be spotted, because all the law enforcement would have to do is follow the footsteps of Mayor McCheese. This is assuming, of course, that, good mayor has committed some sort of crime, which, it's not my place to say. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Whatever, that's kind of irrelevant here, but the point is that, when they get there, when the cops show up, yeah, it gets real pretty quickly, so I'm not sure exactly what they were told about the situation, but, one thing I do know is that uh, this this new this new game surefire, sure success thing. Is it success? Did I get to go on this one? Like, let's make a video in it, like a 4-second, maybe a 6-second video to go along with that, you know, because I don't have any, I don't have one, and that's one thing that's just, I don't know, maybe it's not their style or something. Who am I to say? I certainly wouldn't want to, be the one that had to say anything and everything except what exactly is that supposed to mean? Because somebody now knows about the survey. This thing, you know what? This is obviously fall asleep here, so I'm just gonna cut it off here. We're gonna bang the cheese gavel. Say goodbye to Figurative Frank, because I don't think we ever hung up. Figurative Frank, goodbye, Figurative Frank. And, yeah, goodbye, listeners. Alright, that's all there is to that one. Good night, everyone.